This retaliatory blow, as the Iranian military calls it, is in response to the terrorist act in the Iranian city of Ahvaz committed on September 22nd. 4 militants opened fire on a military parade, killing at least 25 people and wounding about 70 others. The Islamic State terrorist organization has claimed responsibility for the Ahvaz attack. Nevertheless, Iranian President Hassan Rouhani stated that U.S. allies in the Persian Gulf are responsible, primarily Saudi Arabia, which supports opposition Sunni radicals throughout the Middle East. Just 2 days after the terrorist attack in Ahvaz, Iran promised to avenge the United States and Israel. According to Tehran, these two countries allegedly inspired the attack. So, in the early hours of October 1st, at approximately 2 a.m. local time, Islamic State militants in eastern Syria were attacked. It's reported there were multiple casualties among terrorists. The recent attacks have further escalated the situation in the region. Earlier, the U.S. announced it would close its consulate in the city of Basra in Iraq. That came from State Department spokesperson Heather Nauert. The United States Embassy in Baghdad will continue to provide consular services to those in and around Basra. On September 8th, the consulate of the United States of America in Basra came under rocket fire. No one was hurt in the attack. U.S. Secretary of State Michael Pompeo accused Iran-backed paramilitary groups of attacking the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad and the consulate in Basra. He stressed that America would respond to Iran in the event of further attacks on U.S. facilities in Iraq by Shiite armed groups that support Tehran. The situation in Basra has significantly escalated since September 4th this year. People suffered mass poisonings, a shortage of drinking water and power outages. Thousands of city residents joined the protests demanding better social conditions. They attacked the consulate of Iran and set it on fire. Also, hundreds of people tried to attack the U.S. diplomatic mission, but the security forces pushed them back. The reinforced detachments of the Army Special Forces were sent to Basra to stabilize the situation. But all those measures won't make the U.S. change its decision. Yulia Shapovalova, RT.
For more on this story, I was joined earlier today by former Pentagon official Michael Maloof. Michael, thanks for joining us.
Sure.
Is this the first kind of attack from Iran in Syria?
No, this is not the first attack. It's going to probably be one of many more to come. The attack that took place just recently was really meant to send a whole host of messages by Iran to the countries that they believe are behind the attack. And there's some question whether who was behind the attack, whether it was ISIS or an Arab group. And the Iranians have basically concluded that it was elements of each.
Elements of each. Is there actually a way to exactly know who it is?
They claim, the Iranians claim that they were able to match pictures to those who were captured and those who were associated with ISIS and those who were associated with the Arab Patriotic Group that undertook the attack. And the Arab group, of course, is backed up by UAE, the United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia. And there have been messages to that effect that they are basically responsible or taking credit for it, if you will, because the special assistant to Mohammed bin Zayed of UAE basically said that this was not done by terrorists. It was meant to send a message to Tehran, and it was on a tweet, and they didn't take it down. So that implies that this was done at their behest. So it raises the ante considerably, and this goes back to a time when Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia threatened to take a war to Tehran.
Well, it's interesting to say that in this area, Michael, over the past few weeks, it seems like we've been watching Hollywood plots as there's been foul play. We're looking at events in Idlib Peninsula, other events that even happened with poisonings. There's been warnings that there was going to be foul play looking like someone else. How confident can we be if it's just pictures and tweets that this isn't another sort of try to blame game to try to ratchet up the situation in the Middle East?
Well, it's going to ratchet up. Regardless, because of the players. And when you hear what Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel just did before the UN General Assembly in showing pictures of areas around Hariri International Airport in Beirut, claiming that those were areas where missiles from Iran were being modified for precision. And he said that they weren't going to put up with it. I think that we may see an escalation here very, very shortly, and that could cascade into something even larger very shortly.
Well, you mentioned Israel, we know the UAE, we know Syria, we know Russia's even got some involvement. Now you've got the United States is pulling out the consulate, pulling out their officials, the consulate in Basra. So now the United States is getting involved. Is there any way, it seems like all we're doing is going towards a way of escalation.
Well, we've been involved.
Right, but is there a way to de-escalate it at this stage?
It's going to be, there can be if the Trump administration, as opposed to President Trump, would tell both crown princes to calm down a little bit and tell Netanyahu to back off. Russia could assist in this to try and de-escalate, because it looks like Netanyahu is emboldened by the United States to topple the government of Iran. And he will, and that is his course of action, is to take out Iran as well. And I'm afraid that he feels he has an entree, a go card to do whatever he wants to do just that. And if he attacks Hezbollah, which is a proxy to Iran, then things will escalate very rapidly, and you may see missiles going into Iran, or into Israel as a consequence.
Well, let's just hope that they start taking steps backwards and continue instead of going down this path that ultimately ends in destruction and negative for everyone involved. Thanks for joining us, Michael.
Sure, my pleasure.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.